Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a list of things that have helped me cope with my eating disorder and help me not participate in the actions of my eating disorder. So continue to watch and I'll help you with your life struggles. So first and foremost, you have to identify your giant. For me, my giant was my eating disorder. So in order for you to move forward in whatever it is that you have to do, you have to identify what your struggle is. For me, example, my giant is an eating disorder. So I was not able to move on in life and help myself until I was able to pinpoint as to what my giant was. And what a giant is the thing that's stopping you from moving forward in life. It's the thing that is making you stagnant and ultimately hindering you from your purpose in life. Once you identify your giant, then you can move on with the rest of the things that have helped me. The next thing that you have to do is to focus on the reward and not the obstacle. I'm going to continue to use me as an example. For me, I was just constantly thinking like, oh my God, how am I going to get through this? How am I going to just stop with the thoughts? And how am I going to stop caring what other people thought of me or said about me? Like, how am I going to ultimately stop myself from binge eating and just stop myself from emotional eating and going through all the motions of the eating disorder and just stop the negative thinking. And also I was like, how am I going to do this by myself? How am I going to focus on what I have to do? How am I just going to win? How am I going to beat this? How am I going to get rid of it? And if you keep thinking about that, you're just going to overwhelm yourself and you're going to burn out and you're going to mess up. And you're going to keep messing up and you keep messing up if you continue to focus on the obstacle that is at hand. But if you start looking at the reward, that's what's motivating you. And that's what's getting me through cardio. And I'm like, okay, if I continue to do cardio, I'm going to lose this weight and I'm going to get signed. If I continue to do this, if I continue to keep walking in the steps that I'm supposed to be taking, I can ultimately keep on helping people that suffer from the same thing, and I could have a story that people could relate to, and I can continue to walk in my purpose, and I can continue to uplift people, and I can continue to do what it is that I was meant to do. And another thing that I was looking at, I was like, okay, if I do this, I'm gonna lose all this weight, I'm gonna get signed, and then I'm gonna be able to walk all these designers, and I'm gonna get covers of magazines, and I'm gonna, walk runways, and I'm gonna do all these photo shoots, and I'm gonna have all this influence. And whenever I'm having those negative thoughts or those thoughts that I don't want to emotionally eat, that's what I think of. I think of myself on magazine covers. I think of myself signed. I think of myself on runways, and I think of myself with the influence to help other people. And that's what I think about. And this is just an example of from my life to you. So you should definitely start thinking of the reward of the obstacle that you're about to face, because it's going to be a tough road. If you really think about it, looking at the obstacles aren't going to motivate you. They're just going to stress you out and make you not want to do it anymore. You're just going to wear yourself out and you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. And that's why you have to think of the reward and not the obstacle, so that you can think of all the rewards that you're going to get once you continue to push forward and continue to fight in your obstacle. The third thing is to remember who your ally is. Yes, it's cool to have other people who are helping you and other people who are mentoring you, but they're not always going to be there. Sometimes they're going to be, isolated, and you're going to be stuck in your own world, and that's when the thoughts really come. And that's when the thoughts really come to tear you down and try to deteriorate you from what you've done and try to derail you from the things that you have been doing. And that's when you have to realize that not everyone is going to be there for you, and you have to just come to terms that God is your only ally, and you just have to pray, and you just have to stay strong, and you always have to keep on praying and let him fight the battle for you. All you really have to do is just pray, have faith, and continue to stand firm in what you're doing. The fourth one is that you have to silence the voice of inadequacy and inability. And if you're going through the motion, you can't have that mindset that I can't do this, I won't be able to do this, I don't have the resources to do it, I don't have the people backing me up, or I don't have the strength to do it, or I don't have the mindset to do it. If you keep on thinking that and you keep on thinking negative, you're never going to get anything done, and you're never going to go anywhere, and you're just going to stay stagnant, and you're not going to fulfill your purpose in life. So that's why you have to think positive thoughts. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And you have to keep on just pushing forward and pushing forward and pushing forward. And you just have to keep on moving, and you have to just stand firm. And like I said, for the third one, you have to keep God as your ally, because he's the only one that's able to fight your battles. Because if you fight in your own strength, you're never going to win. Stay positive. No matter how bad the situation is, stay positive. Number 5 is to continue to rehearse your formal victories. You will never face a giant that's bigger than you. Look back at all the blessings that God has done for you and all the things that he has come through for you. Take all that faith and use it to slay your next giant. And like I've said in my previous videos, and I think I've said it in this video as well, everything that you've been through is getting you ready for your next giant. So that's why it's important to pay attention to all that you're going through, because you're going to need that lesson for your next giant. The next one will be, you have to envision yourself as you have already beat it. So you have to envision yourself as you have won. So you have to keep on having that thought that I already beat this. I am not me. This is not me anymore. I am stronger than this. And you just have to keep on with the positive affirmations, and you have to keep on moving forward. Even if you're crawling, it's still progress. And though you may stumble, you won't fall. And I'm not saying that you're not gonna stumble and you're not gonna mess up and you're not going to trip and fall. But as long as you get up and you keep on moving forward and you keep on doing it, those falls are gonna help you be stronger. When you stumble, you learn something from it. So it's actually a win-win situation, in my opinion. Your giant is already dead. You just have to throw your rock. You have to be David, and you have to throw your rock at Goliath. Your giant is already dead. And in my case, my rock is my discipline. I have to stay disciplined. I have to stay, I have to stay focused. I have to stay in my zone. And I just have to be disciplined to say no in all situations that my mind is not fully there, if you understand what I'm saying. If I know that it's a situation that I'm not going to be able to control, I just have to be disciplined enough to say no, and I just have to keep on moving forward and keep on doing what I'm doing and not letting any little thing get in my way. The next one is you have to face it. You can't kill anything that you can't face. So just face it head on and get to work. But you have to be honest with yourself. You have to know what your triggers are. You have to discern what your triggers are, and you have to keep yourself accountable. Don't stop until you win. And once you win, your reward is the tools to fight your next battle, because that's how life is. You're always going to be in a battle, but you're going to be stronger than you were in your last battle. And all the things that you've learned from your past battles, you're going to use it for your next one, and so on and so forth. You're always going to be in a battle. Welcome to life. This one has helped me tremendously with all of my situations and all the times that I've had those thoughts. You have to fight with the word of God. You're not going to win anything with positive thinking. And you have to speak it, because there's power in the tongue. So you can't just think like, oh my God, I can get through this, I can get through this, I can get through this. Yes, you can get through it, but you have to speak it. I can get through this. No weapon formed against me will prosper. The devil is a liar. That's my favorite line. The devil is a liar. No weapon formed against me will prosper. And I will do this in the name of Jesus. And the thought is gone. And then I just go on with my day. And you think that it's crazy? Like, my urges are going to go away just by saying that? Try it and watch it work. You have to stand firm in the word that God gave you. When you stand firm, the enemy will go away and he won't bother you anymore. So just stand firm in all the visions and the ideas that God has given you, and just continue to move forward and continue to make progress, even if it's tiny steps. Just continue to do it, and stand firm and believe and speak your way through, and just continue to do all that you need to do in order to win. This is a powerful quote that I believe that Pastor Teray Roberts has mentioned in one of his sermons, and it says, when you're sitting here trying to motivate yourself to become who you're supposed to be, your harvest is turning from ripe to rotten. And every time that I get those thoughts and I just read that, and that just like really quick gets me in check. And I'm like, dang, every time that I have this little episode, I'm pushing myself back and back and back and back. And everything has a window. And if I continue to move in those movements, the window of opportunity is going to be gone. So I just have to keep on moving forward, and I have to keep on standing firm, and I just have to keep on fighting. And just standing firm and calling out to God and letting Him fight your battle for you. That's all you have to do. All you have to do is just stand firm, call out to God, pray, and just continue to move forward. But don't fall into the trap of your urge. Don't feed your flesh. And those are the things that have helped me cope with the thoughts of going back to that eating disorder, because I had the eating disorder didn't have me. And every time that I would struggle with something, I would just read that list, and I'll just go through my head and my head and my head, and I'll just keep looking at all the things that God put a vision inside me, and I would just think of all the things that I would get if I beat this, and then I would think of all the things that I would have to do in order to get back on track, and then I would have to think of all the things that, you know, ultimately made me happy. And it all went away, which is so crazy to me. So as long as you do what's on this list, I'm telling you, you would beat any giant. And like I said in my last video, if you need help, it's okay to say that I need help, and seek out a counselor, seek out someone to just talk to and just to help you. It's okay to admit that you need help sometimes. And that's part of growth, and that's part of recovery, and that's part of fighting your battles. Another thing that has helped me is I wrote a list of things. I made a list, and it's something that I read every time that I get those crazy thoughts. And I titled it, Before You Want to Binge, Think About, and you could customize it to whatever your situation is. Before I want to drink, before I want to do a drug, before I want to spend money and shop, before I want to, whatever the case may be. It's really important to write a list, and every time you get those thoughts, or every time that you get those urges, to just read it over and follow the list. And I'm telling you, that's the cure. It will absolutely help you. And I'm going to read you some of the things that I have on my list. Before you want to binge, think about your health issues, the fact that you will gain weight, longer unwanted time on your diet, you're going to be bloated for a couple days, you can't fit into any of your clothing, longer cardio sessions, you're going to be depressed, you're going to be frustrated, you're going to be unconfident, and the last one is you're going to be another day not in the career that you want. And that's just a few things that I would read, and just that alone, I'm sure that there's so much more. If I dig deep into my mind and just dig deep down into my heart, I'm sure there's going to be more, but just reading that, it just puts me in check really, really quickly. I'm sure you have a few of things that every time you read, you're just like, oh my God, and then you just snap out of it. But that's just a few things for me. I hope that this video helped, and I really do hope that you can get out of your struggle, and I really do hope and pray that whatever you're going through, you learn from the situation, and you don't let it beat you up. Learn from it and grow. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.